Good morning, everybody. It's August the 2nd. I'm not sure why my lighting keeps coming on and off and whatnot, but maybe it's something to do with the ceiling fan or something. I'll have to try and figure that one out. I've got a random subject today. I'm going to talk about footwear. Now, I don't know whether this is a Parkinson's thing or whether this is a neuropathy thing, because I have kind of both neuropathy and Parkinson's. My feet, all the way up to my knees, are very much numb. My hands are very much numb. To tell you what it kind of feels like, it would be as if, say you were wearing ski boots on your feet and you were trying to walk. You don't necessarily feel the floor because you've got some great big boot on or something, so you don't necessarily feel the floor. Or with your hands, it's like wearing ski gloves and you're trying to do pills and pick up little tiny pills and whatnot. It's quite difficult, but you have to make do. You only get one feet set and one hand set, and you make do. But it's a problem with my feet. I can't find anything that is wearable. Shoes, slippers, socks. I have never in my life had this kind of a problem. I've enjoyed buying fancier shoes. I've enjoyed buying comfortable shoes my whole life. But I never thought much of anything about them other than whether they looked good on my feet. But now I need something for comfort, and I need something that will stay on my foot. I don't have a normal walking pattern. I have a different gait. And my daughter has said to me, "I don't think it's the shoes, Mom. I think that you're wasting your money. It's your feet." And I said, "Well, I have to still find something for my feet." But anyway, so I have tried so many things. And I used to wear those cheap little slippers, I think they're called ballet slippers or isotoners or something. They just slip on your foot. Well, everything that I put on my feet comes off. Now, you would wonder how you could put on, say, a pair of knee socks and how that could walk off your foot, but mine does. If I'm not having something that's going to keep it on my foot, it's coming off. So I thought maybe I could buy some socks of some kind that had like the non-slip bottoms like you get when you wear in the hospitals. And so I thought that's the perfect thing. Well, if I have bought one pair of those socks or slipper type socks, I probably bought 50 of them. And they're not cheap, but they also do not stay on my feet. Off they come. I've gotten to the point where I would even put one on and then put an elastic band around the top of it to try and hold it up. But then it would cut your circulation off if you weren't careful. So that was kind of a no-go. Then I thought, well, I'll try all different kinds of slippers. And every time I bought a slipper, it either the heel had come off because it wasn't a high enough heel, or if I had like a boot type slipper that came up my foot, they were a little bit bigger and I would walk out of them, or they would be nice on my feet. And then I would sit in my chair, and as I was sitting in my chair, because I don't sit still, I'm wiggly. Because I'm wiggly in my chair, next thing I know, my feet or my slippers are coming off my feet. Now, I've got a whole array beside me here. These are the ones that I've kept. The rest of them I've gotten rid of as I got them. And these are lovely slippers. But you would look at this and you'd go, well, look at that. That's well up over your ankle. Your foot's going to be nice and comfortable. It's got a foam liner. Non-slip because it's got this rubber on the bottom. It's not going to cut the circulation off. What could possibly be wrong with something as good as this? Well, two things. This sole is very thick. And when you have neuropathy, you can't feel your feet. So therefore, I couldn't feel the floor. And I was stumbling because I couldn't feel the floor. And second of all, every time I put my foot up on my chair rest, it came off. So that was that. So I've tried now the socks with the thingies on the bottom. Just for regular socks, I didn't want my ankles, the circulation cut off, and if I put the ones that had the relaxed fit at the top, or the diabetic socks, they come off my feet. Then I thought, well, try the compression stockings, but my feet swell and they are so tight that I can't get them on. Then what other ones did I try? Well, I've tried every freaking kind of sock there is out there, and it's ridiculous. So now I've got a couple of pairs of socks that will stay on my feet if I've got shoes on, but they're not going to stay on my feet if they're not. And the other thing is, if you're wearing just the socks and you don't have the little sticky things on the bottom, you slide all over your floor and your feet get dry. You try to put lotion on. Well, then the lotion, if you've got bare feet, then you're skating on your floor, putting grease marks every which way. Sounds like I'm complaining, and I suppose I am a little bit, but it's frustration. It is frustration. What I've got down here too. All right. Sandals. I thought this, I put my hand in here so you can see the comparison. Okay. These straps, these are just elastic. So I thought, well, that will work pretty good, because then your foot can fit right in there. It's got one at the back that'll hold it on. So if I sit in my chair, it's not going to do. And they look nice on my foot. They weren't that expensive. I think they were $25 or something. This is one of the better purchases. Again, non-slip. But the problem being, my foot swells. It gets in there, and these elastics, my foot starts to swell. And when I take my foot out of it, I've got little lines all over my feet. I make do with it, but it's not ideal. Then this is one of the better ones, but ugly as all get out. The Croc. This one here has the lining in it so that it's not, like, it doesn't have all those bumples in the bottom, that hurt your feet. But look at this. It's like plastic or rubber or something, and you can get them all pretty colors, but they're very ugly. If I do it without the strap at the back, my foot just comes out. But it does have this strap that isn't all the way out to here, so it holds my foot in the shoe. But it's very ugly, but it does work. This one I think is very nice. This is like a running shoe. I don't have to tie the laces. They stay tied. I just put my foot into it and pull it up. It's deep enough that it'll stay on my foot. This is one of the better solutions, but I don't know. It's just not 100% right. It's not a slipper. It's a shoe. Like, I just want something around the house. I don't go out very much. This is great for if I go out. I don't go out very much. Then this one, I didn't know what I was ordering. And when I got it, we all laughed about it. And it looks ridiculous, but it does kind of work. This they called a yoga or Pilates thing, which I've never done yoga or Pilates. But it makes it look like you've got an awful small little foot, doesn't it? It's very pretty, except for look at this. There's no toes. Your foot fits in here and goes to here, and then your big toe sticks out. Let's see. Put this on my hand and show you. Your big toe sticks out this one, and then your other toes stick out this ones. Well, if you're trying to protect it's got non-slip things on the bottom. If you're trying to protect your feet from getting blisters and stuff, this does nothing, because where do you get your blisters? You get your blisters on your toes. So, although very cute, and when I got it, I thought, well, I've only bought half a shoe. But anyway, now, a common question would be, well, my dear, what did you do with all those other shoes and socks and slippers and everything you did? Well, we had a standard little joke in my family. my daughter says that, because I would just, I'd call her over and say, do you have a friend that would need a pair of slippers or runners or whatever? And she goes, well, I can find somebody. Because, I mean, I've got a fairly normally sized foot. And she said, well, I can find somebody. I mean, she had all the slippers she wanted, all the shoes she wanted. My granddaughter's foot is smaller than mine, so therefore it wouldn't fit her. And I think I have given shoes, socks, and slippers to half of Calgary. Like everybody that could possibly need them has had them. And all of the rest have gone into the donation bins so that, you know, anybody that would be able to get to a Salvation Army or a thrift store or whatever could get shoes. And nice shoes. I mean, they're all very nice shoes. But does anybody else have that problem? I don't want to be spending more money because it's ridiculous how much if I got one pair of slippers that absolutely did me wonderful, I would probably have paid $500 for them by the time I've said it. Oh, not to mention how many times I've taken a slipper or a shoe to the shoemaker thinking we could modify it. I took one shoe that didn't quite stay on but felt really good but didn't quite stay on to the shoemaker, and took a big sock that had like a warm cuff coming up to the knee, and I cut the sock off and had him sew that onto the top of the shoe so that I made this contraption of a thing, and then it still didn't work. And then I'd paid $40 for a shoe and $10 for a sock and $20 for a shoemaker to sew this thing. That my husband hasn't divorced me is a miracle. But anyway, if anybody has any idea of what kind of shoes or slippers or whatever, it's slippers mostly that I just would like to have a pair of slippers that I could just put my foot in and have it work. So far, no luck. So I'm relegated to just, I put a pair of leg warmers on. Even in this heat, my legs get cold because I have the circulation's poor. So I put the leg warmers on, and then I just put the slippers on and off as I need them to run around the house. But it's ridiculous that I can't get it. But anyway, I don't think that that's necessarily Parkinson's. It might be partly because of the gait. I think it's just a combination of the whole lot. But anyway, this was a very random. There's not much information in this one. Actually, there's not even a funny story in this one. Good heavens. What kind of a funny story would I have about my footwear, though? Like, I really don't have one about that. But I will have something on the go for tomorrow. All right. I hope everybody sleeps well tonight. All right. Good night.